Hey everyone, this is Marsh from Consequence. We're going to go over the fourth boss instance, the wall boss. So this is an add encounter, and if you look at the raid plan here, what you're going to do is you're going to try to split up the raid evenly with healers, tanks, and DPS on each side. However, off the pull, you'll most likely lust there, and the boss will start around here since you walk in here, and you want to lust and push him down as far as possible. The reason for that is because the boss will push at 15 or 25%. I don't remember, but we can confirm in the video. And once he's pushed, he'll transition to P2. So you don't want to be in P1 you want to be in P1 as little as possible. So maximizing boss damage is pretty important. I do see a world where you can lust on Mystic Ads, which we'll talk about, or in P2 if the burn is very, very hectic and tight. So this is the general setup, and we're going to hop right into the abilities. So with the abilities, if any ad hits the door, he's going to break the door and he's going to kill you. That's the main thing of this fight, and he'll probably kill you in all difficulties. The numbers here for Mythic, we'll talk about both a little. So the Mythic ad is the bird, and the bird will fly to each side and try to blow you off. It's not that hard to deal with. You just need a movement CD to side. In Heroic, that does not exist. So the boss, he jumps between platforms when he gets full energy, and he has this heavy cudgel mechanic, which is a frontal. Once the frontal lands, it's going to drop 3 rock piles, which we use to assign players would pick up from each side, and we'll see that in the video, and use it to eliminate certain ads from the fight. So you got a Mystic ad. These are on set timers. These timers, they will come down, and you got to break a shield. The shield on Mythic is 12.5 million health. On Heroic, it will be scaling. And the longer the shield is up, the more pulsing damage it will do to both sides. So you'll probably want set CD assignments for the shield. Heroic, it might not matter, but having set CD assignments, making sure the shield breaks before either side wipes because they're taking too much healing. Once you break the shield, he will spam Lava Bolt. And also, there's a Magna Flow debuff that will go out. And having Priest to Master Spell this off is very important, but healers need to look to dispel this as frequently as possible. So another ad is the Huntsman ad. This one will basically put spears on the ground, and these spears will explode after 8 seconds. Getting hit or standing near explosion will basically do a little more than half your HP. Very, very bad, because you're just going to combo it out by something else. You got the guards, which are probably the second most dangerous ad behind the Mystic. They will do a roar that will do just pulsing damage onto the raid. They will also do a volcanic shield mechanic. This will target a random player, and it will be a line that shoots out. Ideally, that player stands still so other players can move out. If that player's in a bad spot, they can swing to the side and then plant. The worst thing you can do is move at the last second with that. If you want to move, it should be up and down the line, not side to side. Then you have wall climbers. These come up and just charge the door. It can be picked up by a tank. Probably the least impactful ads. And then there's just going to be like random fire on the ground. So that's P1. And let's talk about P1 in the video. And then we'll hop to P2. So off the rip here, you'll see that we lost. And the reason for that is because we're trying to push the HP as low as possible now, so we're trying to skip a Mystic set. That is the goal. And you cannot transition with a Mystic up, with a Mystic shield up. If the shield's broken, then you can just bring the ads to the wall. But yeah, so 2 Mystics come down instantly on both sides, and each side has their own separate cadence to it. So we're just gonna look at the left side. It's gonna be all the same mechanics, just like in a different order. So breaking the shield here is what we did on both sides, and now we're AoEing. The boss is about to hit 100 energy, if I remember properly. Yep, he's flying over. So he hit 100 energy, now he's on this side. So the other group did, I don't know, like 10% of the boss. And now we're just prioritizing the boss since the Mystic's almost dead. We're trying to get as much damage on the boss as possible while passively AoEing these ads down. Now, one thing I didn't talk about, and I'm actually going to back up, is this initial... If you remember the boss mechanic, this is the frontal. This funnel's on the tank, and it's gonna drop these pools. These are the pools you interact with to pick up the rubble to throw it off the wall. So I think on this testing iteration, we had 2 people from the right and 1 from the left assigned to pick them up. They picked them up, and we went over. And it's an extra action button, so you can hold it for literally ever and use it when you think it's dangerous. So there might be situations where you want to hold it and then try to knock ads off before a mystic or some type of overlap. So you see here that the boss to the front only get rocks, and the assigned players, there's 1, there's 2, are picking up these rocks, and we're looking, see these beams of light? This is the first mythic testing. You look at another mythic testing, they'll have triangles or arrows or something determining where the ads are coming. What he's doing, he's just throwing off the rock and dealing with the ads. Less ads mean more boss damage. These ads are going to die quickly, and you'll be able to crank more and more into the boss. He leaves, and now we're just AoEing ads down. So now, like in this situation, it might be better to pick up the rocks and wait till right before the Mystic spawns and dealing with ads then. The Mystic should be spawning soon. He's probably going to pick up this rock after he drops this debuff. So these are the spear mechanics. And these spears, they'll blow up after 8 seconds. And you see he picks up a rock here, and he's looking for light. So there wasn't one there. There's one right there, but he's just going to be in for AoE healing. And there's one on the right now. Let's see if he goes for it. Okay, so he's going to toss it here. Oh, he changed his mind. He's going to toss it here. And this is a really good toss, because you can see this guard is probably the second most dangerous ad. Behind Mystic, Guard, Huntsman, Wall Climber, probably. So he's going to knock off the guard and anything else under it, which is huge, because now there's a Mystic up. So that was a really clutch play, because now instead of dealing with a guard, we're dealing with a lot of wall climbers, which are really easy to deal with, and one really low guard. So we're in for AoE healing. And the bird's going to come over and blow us. And this is like an overlap here. So the boss appears. There's fire lines. This is the shield mechanic right here. If you see this, he's going to stand still with it, which is really... Oh, that was so good. Okay, see how he moved up and down the line? So he made it as easy as possible. He didn't swing it or go this way. He just stood still. Everyone moved out. The winds come. This is all during a mystic. And we break the shield. This guy's bugged during testing, so we all have to turn around and kill this guy. Because, again, if he hits the wall, it's GG's. So you'll just see the Allied DPS come over and deal with it. These phoenixes here, they'll target players and chase them down. They can be CC'd, binded, whatever. Another tank frontal, picking up rocks, looking to deal with knocking things off using the rock. The boss leaves, so now it's all AoE. And there's one more mystic coming. So ideally, we break, at least off our left side's perspective, we break the shield, and then we probably want to transition. Another winds is here. The boss comes over. So right now, in comms, it's probably like break the shield, then try to push the boss. So the shield's about to break here. And the boss at 29%, so you must push at 25. So we're pushing. And it might be 15 on Mythic or something. I don't know where I got that number from. Dungeon Journal will say. But again, there's the volcanic thing right there. And it's going to go off. Yep. And now the boss transitions. So all these ads can funnel in. It's whatever. Just get kicks. The other group seems like they have no Mystic. Oh, they actually do. So they're about to break the shield and then they'll come over. So this is probably not ideal to push because they're still breaking that shield. But once they do break that shield, they'll rejoin us. And we can talk about the last phase real quick. So this is actually a bad time to push, and we still killed it, which is kind of funny. So real quick, in the last phase, you have a slam mechanic. When the boss reaches 100%, it'll be like a giant circle at the door, and it's going to be a 2.7 mil split soak on Mythic difficulty. You need to soak the radius with a lot of players. So the less players you soak with it, the less energy he'll lose. So he'll cast it again because, like, if you put one player in there, let's say he goes to 95 energy, he's just going to recast it and then recast it. So you basically have another. And when you soak, you take 75% damage from the next hit. So 2.7 mil health. Your split will do whatever that 70% of that is on top of the 2.7. So, um, on heroic difficulty, you probably just want to make two groups that rotate soak. On mythic, you might want to have a situation where you full soak and then immune, 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 full, or something like that. There's some possibilities. But on heroic, again, you probably just want two groups. You just want like whatever was the left side, you're gonna soak this for one, and the right side is gonna soak two every single time. There's also going to be the tank funnel that still exists. Any ads that still are up will be funneled in. And then the boss will regain 10% health going into that phase. So that is the wall boss, and we can see it play out here. We'll probably kill it really quickly due to the timestamp. So that's the guard mechanic, the spear, drop off spear. Phoenixes are out, they're going to be CC'd. The other group just broke their ads, so they're heading over now, and all their ads are going to funnel in. And you're going to see we're probably, yeah, so the side that got here first, group soaked that. And he lost like the majority of his energy, but you see his energy bar ticking up really quickly. So very, very soon he's going to go out the door again. Basically after this tank funnel, he'll go out the door again. He's spell queuing. We're just gonna kill him. So he spelled basically here he spelled queued a few abilities, which is probably not intended. Ideally he'll get 100 and then just cast the tank frontal. So this is the first iteration of testing. It might change a little. They did a second iteration where they fixed some of the sides ads and some bug fixes. So we'll see how testing is. But yeah, that is the wall boss. So more videos to come, and best luck in the raid. If you have any questions, you can comment. I'm out. Peace.